Hey folks, it's Moxley here and welcome to another video on TEW2020. You join us for our March pay-per-view for AEW. This is AEW Starrfest. I finally remembered the name of the pay-per-view because it's right in front of me. Give this wee pay-per-view a wee bit of a boost. We've set it as a minor band that's going to be playing at the show. We've got a C-list celebrity and we've spent 50 grand on a special set. I'm just trying to push us along, see if we can try and get to big before we get to Double or Nothing, or possibly go to big when we go to, on the actual show. That's the one that pushes us over. It makes us a bigger size company, hopefully, and just increases our revenue, and we can work on from there. But looking forward to this one. I'm quite happy with the card we've got booked. I'm quite happy with the stories we've told. And the show today will be taking place from the Carlisle Faulkner Field at Roberts Stadium, which is in the South East region. In terms of attendance, we are hoping to try and sell out 36,000. It might just be a little shy of that, but still something I'm hoping that we can look to do. I think what's going to start going against us is the way the economy and the wrestling industry is going. So whilst the industry is pretty much towards a boom, you could say, the economy is certainly going downwards. So we might even look at other markets. Canada looks like it could be somewhere we could start maybe working into, because obviously a great economy that is dropping in a wrestling industry, because you never know, we could meet them both at about 80%. Mexico, now its economy is coming down, but a really thriving wrestling industry. Kind of going each way with the UK. Japan is kind of, the economy's fallen worldwide it seems, and we've got a rising wrestling industry there. And Western Europe, pretty much the same. We're rising down under, so that could be somewhere maybe to look at. We don't have great popularity in Oceania, but it's maybe somewhere we can start to target. In India, thriving economy in a wrestling industry that at the moment doesn't exist. If we are struggling for like locations, I can import the Who's mod just to give us a wee bit more. But anyway, we'll crack on. We'll have the show hopefully as a rising success. As I say, as always, thanks for watching. If you want to get social, you know what to do. And if you want to purchase a game, check the description below, as well as the best sources for mods and other people's written and verbal content. So without further ado, this is AEW Starrfest. So in a sold out 36,000 seater stadium, we've done it, we got the sellout. Cody announces the general manager, the authority figure, we'll just call it authority figure, we'll try and step away from general manager. The matchmaker, we'll go with that, of All Elite Wrestling. It's basically to take pressure off the likes of Cody, off the Bucks, off Kenny, and it is going to be Mick Foley that takes the job. I didn't want to put Tony Khan on television, my user character, so I thought, do you know what, Mick Foley is somebody that would probably sympathise with the likes of Cody, so Mick Foley is the new GM on WWE, on AEW, so delighted to get Mick on board. And yeah, he's got some big things to go. I can't remember if I put an extra angle in here. It was a 70 anyway for Mick's promo. Oh, he does. Perfect. So Mick's promo itself was a 76. He debuts a legend gimmick, which was an initial rating of great. So Mick just says how, he's been around wrestling for a long time. It's really good to see a lot of these guys, young guys and girls, thriving and giving their all. He says maybe wasn't the greatest wrestler, but he's a fantastic character. But he still has full respect for the guys and girls that are giving their all. He says here he'll try and be fair, but sometimes they say, he either realises what wrestling is, villains and heroes, so he'll keep an open mind. But he's also confirmed today that we will see 2 new championships within All Elite Wrestling. He understands it's a very bloated roster, he says, but it's given as many people opportunities as possible on a big stage. So we will be looking to crown in the future All Elite Wrestling Women's Tag Team Champions and All Elite Wrestling Trios Champions. So Trios for the men, Tag Team for the women. It's going to make sure we're using as many talents as possible. And as I say, that's only going to get bigger and bigger once we go to 2 brands and really start expanding. So delighted to get Mick on board. When 80 popularity, it felt like it was somebody that you could bring in, always will cut a good promo. So that can help with that side of things and make somebody that would be a bit more believable to take that role. And maybe as an authority figure, he would thrive in and not being emasculated by Stephanie McMahon in every single segment. So delighted with that. Right here on YouTube, as you would say. Opening contest then, we started off hot. We went with the Fatal 4-Way for the AEW World Tag Team titles. And it was a superb matchup that saw the Sex Gods, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, defeat Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz, the Lucha Brothers, Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr., and the Titans, Jacob Fatu and Brian Cage in 1755, when Jericho pinned his fellow Inner Circle mate Ortiz with the Judas Effect. The second defence of the titles for the Sex Gods. Says a lot though about the product when Chris Jericho's so far behind on performance. He was a 6-day, Santana 68, and then you've got the likes of Jacob Fatu and Cage in the early 70s. But look at that performance from Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix. A solo run when it happens for both is going to be incredible. But a good opener, a 79 rated segment, and we carry on by going more hotter. There's our best promo on 86 so far, and the Young Bucks have said we will face you at the next event for the Tag Team Championships. We are going to make ourselves #1 contenders and just give ourselves one last shot before everything hands over to Mick Foley. So we get that signed off before we kind of gave up matchmaking. So yeah, already we've got that sorted. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to call that April event. I don't want to call it something to do with Mick Foley, just as kind of like a tribute to him taking over in that kind of matchmaking role. But 86 so far was a good promo. Next up was the TNT title on the line. It was a good matchup that saw Claudio Castagnoli defeat Tyler Bate in 14:25 with the neutralizer. Claudio makes the 7th defence of the TNT title. Pretty standard Claudio match. I was in the mid-60s. But at the end of the day, Tyler got the 1 win. I don't want to put the title belt on Tyler just yet. So it was good to build that story up. And so, the former Cesaro gets the win at Starrfest. After the match though, they're having a handshake basically, saying well done, thanks for the big matchup. And the debuting Ace Austin is in the ring. In my other save, he had Babatunde. In Impact, he's got Madman Fulton. But in this instance, he's got Lance Archer, who comes down as his monster, and the two of them beat up Tyler Bate and Claudio Castagnoli. And yeah, a debut for Ace Austin in All Elite Wrestling. So a 69 rating, and the Arrogant Heel gimmick debuts, and the rating was adequate for Ace Austin. So the former TNT champion now working with Ace Austin. Move along. A superb matchup saw Orange Cassidy defeat Brody Lee in 12:02 with a roll-up. This was a 74 rated segment. So it was put together a bit last minute. Obviously, Orange Cassidy, his rivalry with Darby Allin, but I just felt like it was a good opportunity to give Orange a big matchup. Still something to do with the Dark Order, and he flukes a victory over Brody Lee. A pretty good 74, all things considered. Brody Lee with a good performance there, the 79. And after the matchup, we basically see a bit of commotion that kind of caused the issue and allowed Cassidy to get the win. But basically we see that the Dark Order members, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno, are brawling with best friends, Trent and Chuck, all the way to the back. So that was a 33, and that caused the victory for Orange Cassidy. Next up in the women's division, we had a bout that had a decent reaction from the crowd in subpar wrestling, as a Blontourage's Ashley Lane defeated Chris Statlander in 9:43 with a Shining Yakuza kick. This is a 53 rated match. You've got to give Ashley the victory. She's only just debuted in AEW, and I feel like the difference in popularity was too much to give Statlander the win on this occasion. But yeah, it just shows that the Blontourage are here, they're going to be serious, and it's a good showcase for both ladies on pay-per-view. Next up, Mick Foley. We'll ignore the text there. So in this one, it's basically Mick Foley saying that tonight's main event, the AEW Championship match between Miro and Hangman, that the Butcher, the Blade, and, I don't even know why the Blade didn't pop up there, but the Butcher, the Blade, and Shawn Spears are all banned from ringside. They can't interfere. Causing them to do so, we'll see Hangman Page be stripped of the AEW World Championship. So Mick Foley right in with his authority figure gimmick, and, or not gimmick, his character, and yeah, might see more of Mick later on. Back in the women's division, Decent matchup saw Nikki Storm and Heidi Lovelace defeat Shayna Baszler and Brandy in 902, and Heidi Lovelace pinned Brandy with the Heidi Ho. That's a lot of Heidis. A 62 is not too bad. The crowd are really behind Nikki Storm, a very strong 77. Unfortunately, Brandy and Shayna don't have any chemistry as partners, so that hampered their performance, and the crowd obviously really despise Brandy. But we've to use up popularity and hope that goes a wee bit onto Heidi, and at the same time, matches like this can only help her development. But a 62, consider those negatives, pretty damn good. I'm happy with that. And after the matchup, they just cut a promo and just say, right, cool, it's over, it's done, let's move on. Also, those tag titles sound pretty sweet, so could we see a wee tag team forming between Nikki Storm and Heidi Lovelace? 61 there. End of a promo, MJF cuts it on Jon Moxley, and he just says, tonight's the night, Moxley's done, it's over. Wardlow is going to take him out, and then I don't have to deal with the Moxley problem, and I can push forward towards the AEW World Championship like I should have done before my injury. Match itself was actually pretty good, a 78. Fantastic heat and good wrestling as Moxley defeated Wardlow in 940 with the Death Rider. So a good victory. Wardlow off his game's a bit disappointing, but the fact that Mox can put with a 94 performance gives me a lot of confidence going forward. So delighted with that. And after the match, Mick Foley has said that at the next event, whichever that will be named, AEW something to do with Mick Foley, Jon Moxley and a partner of his choice will face Wardlow and MJF, and if Moxley and his partner win, at Double or Nothing we'll finally get Jon Moxley versus MJF, whether MJF likes it or not. If he doesn't, suspension. So a 73 rated segment, Mick Foley doing some more bits as the matchmaker. Next up, we had a matchup that was exceptional, and we had Cody defeat Darby Allin in 2030 with the Crossroads. This was an 81. Disappointingly, an 86 played an 85, so that could have been even higher. Excalibur's work at the announcing desk was pretty weak, but Darby's benefiting from having Groundswell support. Both guys did. He also has excellent chemistry with Priscilla. What I want to know is why this was not a bit higher. The only negative thing sees Excalibur, plus of course the fact we kept it open, because Cody was a bit far too over and overness to Darby. If he wasn't, you damn right Darby was winning, but I just felt like it was the best way to give Cody the win but protect Darby Allin at the same time. After the matchup, Priscilla Kelly gets in the ring. She distracts Cody enough because he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing in the ring? Not only does Darby Allin attack Cody, but also Brody Lee, so the Dark Order continue to have problems with Cody in that 82 segment there. You can see Priscilla looked lost, but she's got a lot of overness to gain, and I think being in partnership with Darby and obviously Brody Lee, the Dark Order, she can certainly go over with that. Promo. Miro cuts a promo hyping up his match with Hangman Page, just a 67, he's never really got over so far in AEW, but will the match deliver? Because both guys have pretty good brawling stats, and remember 90% of our show is based on Miro versus Hangman. It's a 76. I was hoping Hangman was going to be able to carry that match, but not enough. Stephen get me questioning my main event for the next event because it was going to be a rematch, but I don't know if I fancy that now with that rating. Anyway, about that, had fantastic heat and good wrestling. Hangman Page defeats Miro in 2406 with the Adam's Apple, following interference from Tully Blanchard, of course. Tully's still there, the manager of Hangman's posse, and it gave Hangman his second defence of the AEW World Title. So a 76, 62 performance from Miro and 82 from Hangman. Miro was inconsistent and Hangman overwhelmed by his manager, but we still should be doing a bit better than that. And we finished the show with Hangman celebrating his cheap victory even. Overall, the show increased their popularity in 56 regions. It was in 82. So, if I'm being truthfully honest with the reason for that, I believe you obviously get the strong promo from the Young Bucks, the strong MJF promo. Match-wise, obviously the 76 is a core rating. You're always going to get a boost with celebrities, a set, and music, which was a wee bit ahead of my thinking as well. So if you're ever wanting to try and get that 100 show and you just get a wee bit off it, I definitely recommend that. I'm just going to jump into the main screen because we're going to really look at overness as well as certain characters. But as I say, most of the card is ready for the event for next show. I'll think a name that we can call it, but I still need to maybe change that match with Hangman and Miro. I don't really like the fact he's only drawing that kind of rating. So really struck gold with the show. That's good to see. If we had to click on it here, sell out. So that's always good, good, good. Raul Mendoza is carrying NXT. Fair enough. Josh Matthews to re-sign. Unlucky Impact. Go here. Warhorse. Because he'd obviously, this gives an idea when I'm recording this, he'd just recently been on Dynamite, so I just decided to scout him. So I'll keep an eye on Warhorse. 28 gives him plenty of time. Eli Dragunov choosing to reside in the Mid-South. Hangman says Tyler Bates a good worker. Yep, we know that. Drug test was 6,000. Viewing figures was 938,000, which was a buy rate on 1.56. And Brody Lee needs a break. We've been giving him quite a few longer matches, admittedly. If I just quickly jump into the top 100, move that there. So Starrfest was our second best ever show. Match wise, anything that's popped up from Starrfest? I think I've had that many 81s that will be in the list there, so that's fine. But in terms of this year, sure there'll be a Starrfest match there. Probably just being blind. There we go. Moxley and Wardlow was the 13th best match this year. Big drop off, as I say, in terms of attendance. Third highest, but I think that's just. Remember as well, we're doing pay-per-views every month, so there's that to take into account. This is our one up against WWE as well. Highest buy rate though, a 1.56, and believe it or not, our highest ever buy rate of a 1.56. So there's a few promising things in there as well. Size wise, 75, still a good bit to get to big, but nearly there. And last but not least, you'll probably see some future debutants if you have a keen eye. People I wanted to look at, so in particular, if we just scroll through the list, Brian Cage is now sitting at 66 over, Brody is just above that. Jericho, that's not too bad, mid-70s. Cody, you get to that stage of that, I just put the title on him, I find a way to get that title belt on him because that is crazy overness. Darby, 69, so a good bit to go still for Darby Allin. What else have we got that's kind of been in matches recently? Moxley, same as Cody, extremely over. Kenny's got a long way to go, but with being in 38, it's kind of like now or never type thing. Mick, as I said, it's Michael Nakazawa, 80 over. You kind of need to use a person like that. Pax fairly over, low 80s as well. Did I do Hangman? I think I've done Hangman. We've got Hangman over, which is good. I can't really grumble with Hangman's push. The fact, 85s, 88 in some places, and we started he was at 60, and hell, you can see there even dropped to 54. So he's certainly progressed as well. And MJF, he's done okay. To be fair, he'd probably in the 80s if he didn't get injured because he was going to beat Moxley, but there you go, in hindsight. But yeah, we're in a good position. I say, it's all about the journey. There's no point in getting to the highest stage and killing WWE quickly, although judging by other sims, no chance. That's not going to happen. They'll just have too much money. But yeah, looking forward to it. The journey continues and on to the next couple of Dynamites. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's say, let us know what you think. And hopefully we'll have a good run up to Double or Nothing. And then after that, run up to All Out. So thanks again, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.